Welcome to Trading Lounge. I'm the US Tech Stocks, and I see the market in two ways that we need to navigate. One is that we can have this down here as the A wave, and then an A and a B and a C wave here, and this will be 5 waves here. And in that 5 waves, we've got 1, 2, 3. We're at the top of 3, so there'll be 4 and there'll be 5. Once we get to the top of that, and the market after 5 waves will pull back, anything above that we can go long at that point. So we've either got a wave A here, and then an A, B, and C wave here, and then we come down for another move down through here, and this length can have some sort of relationship to this length, even 61.8% of it, and so on. Yeah, so they're the two ways. So we can either have wave 4 in place here, and we can look at this as 1 and 2, and then this 5 waves up here as 1 and 2, and then pushing up higher in that case. So I think they're both kind of valid, and I think that we just need to perhaps not get into the guessing game too much, because I don't see, I can see a pretty much an even count for both of them, some being bearish, some being bullish. So yeah, let's just be a little bit careful. So yeah, that's the situation really with the stocks. So this move up through here, we have to wait for it to finish those 5 waves. So let's go in and have a look at that here, just on the 20k tick here. So so as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here, once that's completed, we could come down and make new lows down here. Okay. The other side of this, of course, is that we have the 5 waves up here complete, and then we have an ABC pattern. I think I might just remove this. We can see that we're above the 61.8%. And yeah, so in this case, we would look at this here, and let's just take this up to somewhere up here. That would leave it, 5 waves up, it can pull back 50-60%. Doesn't have to. It could pull back, it could pull back 40%, could pull back even lower. So it's, we just got to kind of see how that sort of plays out. But there are a few technical things in there that we'll probably bring into line to help us figure things out. But in a nutshell, we're looking for wave 1 and 2 here. And I'm thinking this is wave 3 and 4 here, and then wave 5 here. That's because, the market didn't really move much last night, did it? No, sorry, in the last session, depending where you are in the world, in the last session. So it didn't really move much. So we know that, when you're approaching an old high like this here, it can push up past it, but it likes to come back and test it. And then the 5th wave here would normally have lower volume than the 3rd wave, because basically everybody's in the market at that point, and then it folds over. So in both cases, once this is completed here, we're going to see a move down, and the move down here will probably come back to that support line through here, wherever that little wave 4 is, and there may be another wave 4 here. And that would come to, back into that space here, and then we'll have a little ABC pattern come into play, retesting probably these highs, wherever that comes out, as some sort of head and shoulders sort of thing, and then we could come down at this point. Now, it's in this space here. If it's going to be a 3rd wave down, then it's it kind of cascades down, and it moves, it does move quite quickly. It will mirror this, but see that there? There's nothing, and there's nothing here. So there's basically what it does. Markets have memories, and I mean, they say it's memory. Markets have memories, but it's basically where people's orders are. How much energy is in that particular space, without getting too moony about it. So yeah, so that will move quite quickly. So if you're going to short it, you'll want to make sure that that you're in, in here. Well, even, if you can count the 5 waves here, then you want to be sort of getting that retest up here and try to figure out the A, the B, and the C here, and the 5 waves in the C wave, and then the first little 5 waves down. Even if you go into a 1 minute chart, I think it's really sort of healthy, and you learn a lot by going into a 1 minute and two. I mean, I like 2 minutes myself if we're talking about time bars. I don't particularly like time bars because 1 minute could have a lot of trades in it, or no trades in it, you know. So a tick chart, either depending on how you set it, will have a certain amount of trades per tick. So it kind of squares things up a little bit. That sort of comes from the futures market more so. But yeah, so, and then even if you did short it up here, you may not get very far, you know, because we might end up with an ABC pattern here and then moving up here again. So if you're going to short it, it's good to put in, you know, just smaller positions, and then see how to sort of build that, you know. Okay, anyway, enough waffling about that, but we'll have a closer look at this. Oh, we can have a closer look at it now. I think, where are we? We're in 20,000, so maybe 1,000 here. Not sure what I've updated. Okay, so let's just get a bit more data in here. Probably overkill, but that's okay. Let's just get rid of this. Oh, that could actually be quite handy, actually. Just bringing the trend line through here. When the market does come down the next time, it will play with that. It'll see that there. But yeah, so in a nutshell here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and I've put wave 1 and 2 here, and because I've got 5 waves in here, I could put wave 2 over here. So it's a little bit of a thing in here that could be, you know, you could view that differently. I'm looking at this being a wave 4 here either way, because it's got that sort of ABC pattern in here, you know, as an expanded flat, and it looks pretty much like 5 waves here, so an A and a B and a C for this. So then it's just a matter of working out this particular top here, and I could count up as I couldn't get 5 waves into this move here. I could only get basically 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. I know wave 4's come quite deeply back here. So then I was looking at this pushing up here, and I was thinking of that as the 3rd wave, all of that, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I was thinking that would get one more little push up into here, and then that would finish that off, and then we'd get a move back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or the 38.2%, and yada, 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 and then another push to the upside, and then that would be it at that point. So, I mean, in my little tiny mind, I see, I've got the bullish weekly cycle, and Wednesday and Thursdays are what I call the swing days, and yeah, so Thursday can be bearish, and but this is kind of all late. This is all sort of you know, Wednesday kind of behavior, and it kind of fits in a way because it's when a lot of the news stuff comes out, Wednesdays and Thursdays, you know, and Friday, of course. So yeah, anyway, that's where they are. Sorry for waffling on so long. Let's just move that out the way, and I'll just go through these quickly. So basically what I've said there is what we need to sort of translate into all the other stocks that we're looking at, really. I think, well, most of them except Google, I think. We were looking at this being 5 waves down. I can make this an A and a B and a C wave down here, by the way. It just depends on how I want to view this here, because I can put wave 4 over here and look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave over here for this wave 4. So it is possible to have this whole thing as an A and a B and a C, but the proportions for wave A and wave C are pretty much out of whack. And also too, this is the little pocket here, the 62% to 65%, but obviously yeah, 188 is probably the number in that space there, and we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave here. The C wave is also behaving like a 3rd wave. So with a 3rd wave, I mean, I just go like this. If the markets pull back to the 61.8%, so from here to here, pull back 61.8%, then you can just grab that and look at the 1.6, you know, 1 up here. But the correct way to do that, of course, is to look at that, the length of wave 1, and then move this up to up to here, but it's the same thing. You just need to understand that if it didn't pull back if it didn't pull back 61.8%, then you wouldn't be able to do that. But I can see everything sort of fits quite well. So here we're doing the same thing here again as well. So there's a good chance this is the third wave really. So 1 and 2 here, and I think we'll look at the 100 tick in a moment just to get this right. But once we've got those 5 waves here, we're either going to have a situation where we have a deeper 5 waves coming to here and a good bounce off that support, and we'll come back up, and then we'll go down again, and wave 3 normally comes in at the bottom here, and then we go down again. So it'll be that type of thing. Or we'll just have 3 waves here, and then we'll push up here. So basically next week we're going to have a blind spot in here. So it's good to know that that's coming, and then you can kind of we can focus on that, you know. And making decisions too early is always a mistake, and not always a mistake. Sometimes you get lucky. And the other thing is too, then you think to yourself, well, you know, it's going to be going down either way because we've got 5 waves up here. I could have a short bet. How am I going to do that, and how much am I going to put at risk, and you know, what's what, and yada yada yada. So yeah, so anyway, that's the situation, and let's just go to 100 here and just have a bit of a look at this here. So we've got this as 1 and 2 here, and then I'm sort of looking for the top here of the 3rd wave here. I mean, I could have made a mistake with all of this, so you know, make sure you check and do your homework. But one thing is for sure, is that this is the beginning, this is the middle, and now we're at the end. You know, so this is not a place to go in and, you know, have big bets and all those sorts of things. It just, you know, it's not good at that point. So I think we've got some little, maybe we'll have to take that top out here. And here's another case. We've got 1 and 2 here, and then the 3 and the 4. So we might get, it might push up like that. I'm not quite sure. I have to have a closer look, but there should be some sort of wave 4, and then a push up, and then that would be it at that point. So, well, we're going to take profit at that level there or something. I can't remember. We're just taking something off the table here. So yeah, we'll just put that up there close to the 190. That's sort of it really at that point. I'm just going to clean my mess up. Yeah, so that's it really. So we're coming to the end of it here. Just see on Thursday, I got some jobless claims coming out in the next session. Okay, so let's cruise on here. That's Apple. I'm dragging my feet this morning, sorry about that. So when we spoke about Amazon yesterday, we could see that it was really just being quite lazy, you know, and it wasn't really having the range in it, so it wasn't really the one to trade. And yeah, so it's you know, it's even more so now. I mean, this is the 50-60% retracement level from the top to the bottom here. I was kind of still expecting it to, in some way or another, to have another push up here. Definitely need to look after the position now, so we can put that stop here. One thing here is that, just to talk about stops for just a little second, even if you know, normally, can we use the 134? So yeah, we can use the 134 here. So that would be the number here. So it's not like you want to put the stop on the 134. If this spikes down and gives you one low below the level, like this one over here, that's a bit low here, but you know, that just that idea can save you a lot of losses. So we'll just do that. We've got it covered here. You would have taken some off here. It's not it's not, it's not a trade to brag about, but you can get yourself a half a pint, I guess. Okay, NVIDIA here. So I'm not quite sure with NVIDIA because I can look at this as wave 3, 4, and we've got 5 waves up here, so we can look at it as wave 5. We could also look at this move up here as wave 1 and back for wave 2, then wave 1 and 2. So I don't know if we fail at this point and come down, or we're going to move up here further. Let me just check here. I should have another count on here somewhere. Oh, that's another count completely different, but that's okay. I've always got stuff going on. So 5,000 ticks. So this one here, yeah, this one here. So this would look at this, instead of having wave 5 over here, we've got it over here somewhere. So we're in more of a bullish case of this, and there's a good case for it because I can count that down as an ABC pattern, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. And then this also counts quite nicely as 5 waves up here, and that's the low here on this one. So yeah, I don't know. And I think on the 1000 I've got the same thing there again as well. Let me just, yeah, so I mean, that's the low here. So I can count this down as the A wave, the B wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can count it down nicely. I don't think anything wrong with that. And I can count 5 waves up here. Yeah, so that's that. But even so, it doesn't, I mean, I definitely would not go long in front of a big number like this. I mean, if you wanted to scalp, to go up, that's fine. But as a trade, I'm very careful about what I do around large numbers, because you get this type of thing here. You trade to the large number and you'd get out. And once you get into that habit, you'll be in front of the crowd at that point. Anyway, let's go to the 100 ticks where we've been working, and let's just get in some more data here. So we're kind of counting it in 2 ways, because it's it's doable at this point. And so wave 5 up here and wave 1, an A and a B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got this here the same as the other markets, even though it's made a new low here, and it also looks like 5 waves down here. So it doesn't really give me a good look at this time. There's no relationship really, but I mean, I can get one, but I have to stretch it out as an A and a B and a C here. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we've counted 5 waves up here. I've just reorganized this a little bit in here, but still leaving wave 1 and 2 here, and then all the way up to 3 here. I could put wave 3 over here, that fits over there as well, but I'm not sure what to do with this other little dude here. So anyway, that's a little issue that I haven't really resolved. But here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I've got 5 waves here. I can see that there's 5 waves down here. I can see that there's 5 waves down here. I could see that the market it could go up from that point, but breaking that one there would give us 3, 4, 5, which should come down a bit further at this point. Maybe you got out here, maybe you didn't. I always encourage people to get out before, so 9, I always call 8 a profit taking number. So I always look for, so I would have, for me personally, I would have been out at 98, and even before 98 actually, before the number 8, because I know that all the orders build up there and you can see it. So this one here, you can see how it got shy of that. And then over here, it's just been all about that number 8 here. It couldn't find support on 8 and failed at that point. So it is about the number 8 here, if I could bring that down a bit. Yeah, it is all about the 98. You'll see as you moving up here, you'll see it, because people don't think of 9 or 1. It's, well, I normally explain it with 10. So people think about 10. They don't think about 9 or 11, and if they were going to go out before that, they'll think of 8. So anyway, that's I'll just assume that you got now, but we could still, the rest of the market is telling me that we're going to push up here higher. So I feel like I've done something wrong in here somewhere with this, but yeah, I'm not quite sure where I've made the mistake. Maybe I haven't made a mistake. Maybe it's just got to keep building a case to the upside. Anyway, that's just a little story about NVIDIA, the two different types of counts. Meta platforms here. So we've been looking at wave A, and then the B, and then the C wave up here. So I'm thinking all of this is 1 and 2 and 3, and we've got wave 4 in here, and then going up for wave 5. I think we talked about a trade here. Once again, we're still shy here as well. So you know, you could have done the same, coulda, woulda, shoulda at the number 8. It's just we're just a little less than about 8 today. I know I've mentioned it many times, but so 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. They're the main numbers that you need to kind of consider a lot. So yeah, I mean, I could bring in a top here and bring this down to wave 1 here, onto here. That's doable, but that's one that will go to there. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that will go to there. This one will go to here. Yeah, I could do that. I could put we could put a top in play here, but I'll just leave that there. But it is quite a nice third wave in its own way. But that would be the 38.2% retracement level here. That looks like a little 5-wave structure here with an A and a B and a C. So we should just go up from here actually. So anyway, you want to protect this position here, so that needs to go under here. But when we go under here, what we can do with this is that put that here, okay, and then you may or may not have a decent number to work with over here. I don't even know what that number is, so 93 roughly. So if I was going to put a stop here, I'd wait for the first low below the level here and then put the stop in. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. But most of the markets are telling me we should have another move to the upside. So, and the same thing applies here as well, is that, you know, I could look at a low being in place here, so we may need to look at this as wave 1 here, and then this whole move up here would also be wave 1 here. So let's just assume for a moment we do come up here, and then we have an ABC pattern here, and then we could push up again at that point. So this would be the classic trading level setup here, the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, the ABC, and then we go. So we'll just put our trader's hat on, you know, that's all at that point. You know, the analyst has done his job and he said, well, these are the two possibilities. So how are you going to handle that? So that's how we're going to handle it. And over to the to Netflix here. To me, it's pretty clear. I'm a little bit unsure about this little dude here. In most cases, in other markets, it made another low down here. But if I forget about that for a moment, just look at this as 1 and 2 here, then I can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the third wave. I haven't deciphered this out here yet. We still may get a drop here and then a push up. Now, based on this one here, we may also get another one in here as well before topping out. So that's also possible as well. But we should see higher ground here. And the market is stalling a little bit, but it's profit taking and it's accumulation process. So that wave 5 here may just come in a little bit short here, depending if it comes over to here first. So just, yeah, use that trend line there. You can put this up here for the other one, of course, but I like, this is just a little bit weird. It's just something of years of charting. You see when you've got those two here, they're on the angle there. If you can capture that angle, and you don't even need this over here, but that because of that, those two have got the angle there, and it fits nicely and snug in there, then you can use that angle pretty much anywhere in the chart. Yeah, it's only a very subtle, small thing, but it works. Okay, so over to Google, and Google's a little bit different. Last time we spoke, I had this in blue here, but as I've mentioned last time as well, that was wrong because I already had blue here. So we've got wave 4 to wave 5 up here, and then we're looking for wave 1 and 2 and then we're going up for 3, 4, and 5 here. In this case here, it's pretty clear we've got little 5 waves in here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a bit stretchy in here, but anyway, I'm going to use that. So that's all good. So yeah, we should climb higher here, but I'm going to protect this long position here. You know, so we could get stopped out, but the thing here is that we do have on the 135 here, so between 30 and 40 here, we'll have 1, 2, and 3 in here, and then 5, and then 8. And then at 5 here, we can see that we've got quite a nice support here, and the market has pushed up and taken that high out. The long trade would have been in here if you're going to trade long at that point, or you could have even gotten in here at that. It's a nice classic trading levels pattern where we've had the arrival, the reaction here, and then the first high above the level, and then we just keep bringing it down until we get triggered in, and that's it there. But anyway, just shooting the breeze on that. But that Google's a little bit different and should go up further, so that's why it's sort of telling me the market should go up further. I'm also protecting this position in Microsoft here as well. It's a little bit like Amazon, not as bad, but is stalling here, and rightfully so. Number 3 here is 3 is the 4th strongest number, and don't have any evidence for that, only from my only observations. But yeah, so yeah, so it makes a reasonably nice wave 1 and 2 here, then 1, 2, 3, 4. I could put this over to here, by the way, and put this wave 4 here, and look at this here as an expanded flat correction, and bring wave 5 over here. I could do that and bring it all up further, but I'll just keep it nice and tight for them. I mean, I think that's the case, and I'll just put that there. But I'll put wave 4 there just to be there, you know. Once again, we're also a bit shy from the 30 here as well. So there's 3 little lessons today, not hitting a number. But even so, we're going to put a nice tight stop in here, and we'll see how that sort of pushes up through there. So yeah, it might I guess if it's going to, see this move here, that would be an ABC pattern here. So if it takes out that top there, then you can move this over here and move this up here further. Okay, so I'll just leave that at that point. I could look at this here as wave 1 and 2 as well, but then that would leave me with 5 waves down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So this is, you know, can't really look at this as the move, because this is too big here to be corrective against this one leg here. It's got to be corrective against the whole thing here. So Microsoft is, you know, I can look at Microsoft in a couple of different ways as well. So we can look at it as wave A here and A, B, C here, like with the rest of the markets, and then come down. We could also, once it finishes its 5 waves here, we could also look at it as an A, B, C pattern here, and then a move up at that point. So I don't know which is the answer here. You know, there's just different there's different ways of looking at it. I've got charts in different ways here. So this is some sort of ABC pattern here, the same what we're looking at the moment. I'll just have a look at 20K here. This one here has just got wave 4 sitting here, and we just continue straight up from that point. So there's different ways of looking at it. I don't have an answer yet. I was kind of waiting to see what it would do across the top of group 1 here. If it gave me a classic trading levels pattern here, then we'll be going long at that point. Okay, so we'll see if it gets support or not on that number, and that's going to be part of my analysis. So Elliott Wave and trading levels kind of working together at that point. Okay, so over to Tesla here. So yeah, we had 5 waves here, so we knew we'd get another 5 waves. It got a little bit sort of messy in here, and you could interpret that in different ways as well. We went and had a look at the other charting program, and it looked good for wave 1 and 2 here. And it's a nice 3rd wave here. I could probably bring that up a little bit further there. But we're also in this box here, which is the 50-60%. It looks like 1 and 2 here and 3 and 4 here, even though it's kind of overlapping here a little bit. So we'll see if we get another little move here, and we'll see how that goes. But based on this wave 1 here and 2 here, that means we could also have one more high here. But I'll just let that play out. I'm not that fussed about it. I don't think this is a good place to go long at this point. We would need all of this to correct here as some sort of ABC pattern. And if that was the case, and we could see a move to the upside at that point, well, then we'll be, would be into it at that point. But we need to be mindful that we don't, that it doesn't actually turn and come down on us. So all the markets are pretty much the same. So we're going to get to it's not good trading at the moment. We just need patience. We're going to get to a top soon with all the markets, and then they're going to correct. We can look for short trades. Those short trades should be a much smaller position size, and we could try to see if we can capture, if we get this down here, we'll be on it, and if it turns here, we'll be on it to the other side here. It's just we're gonna have blind spots in here, and when we don't know what's going on, make sure you don't get too emotional and just start pushing buttons and taking silly risks. Better to do nothing and wait for the pattern to mature to do something. And if you miss it, well, you miss it, and that's okay. That's also better than having a loss. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.